Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. It's been an absolute chaotic situation in the national capital, in the Delhi power circles for the last few days. Now, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has been summoned by the ED multiple times in the Liquorgate probe, and he's been evading so far. Meanwhile, police landed up at his door and those of his party members for a probe into their allegations that BJP is trying to poach their MLAs by bribing them. And even as the dust was yet to settle on that, today, ED raided multiple spots in Delhi related to the Aam Aadmi Party, including a close connection of the Chief Minister himself. Delhi Minister Atishi linked the ED raids at the premises of their Rajya Sabha member N.D. Gupta, Kejriwal's personal secretary Bibhav Kumar and other Aam Aadmi Party leaders to the expose of the agency that the party was planning for today. She later went on to make a grave charge against the ED that in the Liquorgate probe, the agency has deleted certain recordings of accused and witnesses which were the only basis of the case. Now, it's unclear why the agency will ever delete its own probe or proof, but as expected, the ED has come out strongly denying these claims and even warning of serious legal actions. At the heart of this is the ongoing battle over the agencies. Just yesterday in Parliament, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said agencies will continue to do what they are doing regardless of the charge that his government faces that agencies only work against the opposition today. He said no matter what, action on corrupt will continue. The joint opposition has made this a big part of their election campaigning, the alleged unjustness of the agencies that they claim is orchestrated to quieten the opposition. Now, the raids today are not in a new case per se. Action on the Delhi Jal Board case has been happening since 2022, but ahead of elections. Should this be seen as legitimate probe carrying on or as a pressure tactic? We'll take that question to our guests in just a bit. Let me first break down a few details of what has transpired today. Enforcement Directorate was conducting raids at about 12 different locations this morning. Now, one of them is the residence of Arvind Kejriwal's personal secretary. So it gets as close to the Chief Minister as possible. The other was at N.D. Gupta. Of course, N.D. Gupta is the member of Rajya Sabha from the Aam Aadmi Party and the treasurer of the party as well. Raids were conducted in connection with alleged irregularities in Delhi Jal Board. Delhi Jal Board has actually been under the scanner for multiple things, but the ED in this case is probing two separate matters of irregularities in process of tendering. One is to do with a contract given to a firm which didn't quite meet the criteria allegedly, and the other is a case of awarding a tender for setting up automated bill payment collection machines. Now, the ED is looking into these allegations into quote illegal DJB contracts for various projects valued up to 38 crore rupees. In this case, the ED had arrested Delhi Jal Board's retired chief engineer Jagdish Kumar Arora and contractor Anil Kumar Agarwal just last week. Now, a few hours after the raids, Delhi Minister Atishi addressed the media to make some startling allegations against the Enforcement Directorate. Particularly, I want to break down what her charges were and how the agency has responded. It's not often an agency actually releases a press release to respond to a political charge because they come dime a dozen. Now, Atishi has claimed that the ED has deleted audio recordings of statements of witnesses in the excise policy case. The excise policy case is the Liquorgate case. The agency rubbishing those claims, saying that at the time that she is talking about, first of all, CCTV surveillance did not even have audio, and in any case, no recording has been deleted. Atishi claimed that the Enforcement Directorate was coercing witnesses in the case to give false statements. ED in its statement has said that all witness statements are recorded as per protocol. They've been furnished not just to the court in this case, but also to the accused who had asked for it. And there has been a later upgradation of their technology where now their CCTV footage has audio. And in the case of Sanjay Singh's interrogation, that is very much the case. All recordings have been preserved. Now, finally, the Delhi minister had also said that ED was conducting these raids, the ones that happened today, to silence and scare the party. This is, of course, not a new charge. She linked it to the expose that they were going to do today. Somehow the agencies knew about it. But the agency, of course, has called this entire deletion claim false, malicious. They have warned of serious legal consequences as well. But I do want to paint a larger picture as far as the Delhi government is concerned. Why is it that the Arvind Kejriwal-led Aam Aadmi Party and Delhi government is so up in arms, and they are seen in a very routine confrontation as far as agencies are concerned, and this has been going for at least a couple of years now, especially since the Liquorgate heat really started to penetrate deeper for them. But it isn't just the Delhi Jal Board scam that the raids were conducted in today. The party is mired or is facing many investigations and many allegations that haven't even converted into investigations yet. So the biggest one, of course, as I said, is the Liquorgate. Arvind Kejriwal himself has now been summoned 5 times. He's yet to appear, at least before the ED. He has appeared once before the CBI in this case. The Aam Aadmi Party has also made poaching allegations. Remember, these also date many, many months. I remember the first time this was made publicly was when the Gujarat campaigning was going on as well. And now the police is seeking proof of these allegations, and they've landed up at their door. But that has unnerved the Aam Aadmi Party as well. There are, of course, other charges. There is a charge of Snoopgate, which was levelled, one of the first charges that was levelled against an Aam Aadmi Party government. Allegedly, they were gathering political intel against their opponents or even government officers is the charge, and an investigation has been ongoing. Some of the other big investigations against them include Classroom Gate, 1300 crore scam that has been alleged in the construction of additional classrooms and toilets in Delhi schools. This charge or report was prepared by the Delhi Vigilance Department itself. And the Delhi government also faces charges in the DTC bus scam, alleged irregularities in bus purchases for the city. There are fresh allegations emerging in Delhi hospitals as well. So that's the larger picture, and given that in mind, with elections also nearing, with the hyperbole of the opposition continuously reminding the public that, see, this is not going to stop, this is happening particularly against the opposition, either to buy us out or to quiet us down. Is this a legitimate probe, or is this indeed a pressure bid? We'll take that to our guest next.
डराने के लिए, आम आदमी पार्टी को चुप कराने के लिए, आम आदमी पार्टी से जुड़े हुए लोगों के घर पर, आम आदमी पार्टी के नेताओं के घर पर ईडी की रेड शुरू हो गई है।
पांच समन ईडी के अवॉइड किए गए हैं, और उन 5 समन्स के जाने के बावजूद भी ये व्यक्ति जो है ईडी के आगे नहीं गए।
I want to go across to the guest joining us. Shivam Chabra is spokesperson of the BJP. Siddharth Sharma is from the Aam Aadmi Party. I'm also joined by Sanjay Rana, political analyst, and AP Singh is former CBI director. I do thank you all for your time. Siddharth, let me begin with you. As far as the Delhi Jal Board investigation is concerned, it hasn't really kick-started just now. It's not like it's just been registered into an FIR. There's a CBI case that is a previous case. There's an Delhi ACB, Anti-Corruption Bureau, report from 2022, and on the basis of that, these investigations are taking on. So given that in context, would it be fair for the Aam Aadmi Party to say that somehow these raids are in connection to something else that the Aam Aadmi Party was planning?
One thing is very clear, because I was just listening to your opening remarks. One thing is very clear. In India, there is a constitutional body called the CAG, which audits every rupee spent by every government of India. And the CAG has certified Aam Aadmi Party's Delhi government as a government which has been making profit. On the other side, there are many allegations on the union central government of BJP, for example, in Bharatmala road project or Ayushman Bharat, etc., about money being pilfered. So, who is the certifying authority here? if there is already a constitutional certifying authority and that has certified Delhi government as doing good work, how come some other body suddenly jumps into the fray and says that there is wrongdoing? Question number one. Now, regarding today, a very interesting fact about the Enforcement Directorate or the Entertainment Directorate of the BJP is that it is supposed to stop money laundering, right? Now, in all cases against Aam Aadmi Party, no money has been recovered in the last 2 years, plus no laundering has either been proven. The courts have also scathingly asked this of the ED on many occasions. The third leg on which any illegality is proven are the witnesses. Now, SC-led guidelines are very clear and they say that interrogation and witnesses statements have to happen on record, on camera, and then produced as evidence before a court of law. Strangely, the Enforcement Directorate has not been able to submit any audio-video footage of witness statements or interrogation to court till now.
No,
now,
but you're talking about the Liquorgate case. I'm not asking you about the Liquorgate case just yet. I asked you about the Delhi Jal Board alleged scam that is being probed by the agencies. You talked about the CAG. Surely that's a process that is a mandated process in India, but that doesn't mean that no agency can file a corruption report or an FIR if they find any irregularities. I don't think it bars any agency from doing that. My question to you was very simple. This is a probe that is, predating 2024. The ACB launched its report in 2022. So all of these reports are not going to magically just go away because we have an election coming in, right? That's the point that I am asking you about.
The point is very clear that all the agencies in India right now have been turned into hounds to hound opposition. They have been turned into wolves to hound all political opponents. That's as clear as that. Now, why is it so? On one hand, if the BJP is saying that इस बार 400 पार, they are saying that they are winning 400 seats. मुझे ये बताइए, हिंदी में कहावत है कि मच्छर के ऊपर मशीन गन कौन चलाता है? If you have a machine gun at your home and if your house is infested by mosquitoes, you don't use a machine gun. You use a mosquito repellent. So on one hand, if the Modi government is saying that it is winning 400 seats, that means that the opposition is nowhere. Now, if the opposition is nowhere, why are you hounding the opposition? That clearly means that BJP is spooked in these elections. It's as clear as that. BJP is spooked, especially why? Because of Arvind Kejriwal.
So you are saying that
now, just 10 seconds.
Yes.
Now, why Arvind Kejriwal per se? Why is he being targeted? Because he is a bilingual person. Although Aam Aadmi Party would not be fighting any seats in Tamil Nadu, but a star campaigner like Arvind Kejriwal has public love and public pull also in Tamil Nadu, also in Bihar, also in Gujarat, as it's been evident. So they are trying to, it's like a bodyline bowling that was done by the English people in the 1930s, that if you can't get Bradman out, at least bounce him out. It is as simple as that. This is the strategy of the BJP.
I'll take your you're making a very political argument for what is a legal case I asked you about. But even on that, it's very strange you bring this up, because actually the BJP or the PM yesterday said exactly this. That while they are confident, and he made that pitch for 400 par, that's a separate thing, I wasn't going to discuss that. But he also said that the corrupt will have to pay, quote unquote, and the agencies will continue to, quote unquote, hound the corrupt, and there is no backing off from that. So there is no...
How can he say that? How can the Prime Minister say that? If he says on one hand that the investigating agencies are free, then he cannot speak on their behalf, na? That's the catch-22 situation he put himself in. If you say, I cannot say, for example, right now in this program, I am as a guest of CNN News 18. How can I dictate terms about CNN News 18? If the investigating agencies are free, then the Prime Minister cannot say that he will prosecute the corrupt. It's as simple as that. That clearly shows that he himself has put himself into a catch-22 situation by saying something that the other has to say.
No, but if there is political accountability for what agencies do, he said politically he is not scared of the charges made against his government of bias. The agencies are free to do what they're doing. Their job is to go after the corrupt, and they will continue to do so. Corrupt, quote unquote. But it doesn't have to be that you're saying that necessarily a political party in power has to be nervous about election results for this to happen. The BJP or the Prime Minister is making exactly the opposite pitch. But I want to go across to Shivam Chabra on the issue of timing. And this issue of timing has cropped up repeatedly. I can understand the police wanting to probe the poaching charges that have been made against your party by the Aam Aadmi Party, and they should very well be investigated, because this charge has been made, like I mentioned, I remember since the Gujarat campaigning was going on and some supposed recording was supposed to be presented in front of us by the Aam Aadmi Party. It hasn't happened. It's not really great to every day cry wolf and drop the charge of poaching and then not to present anything. I think it should be investigated and it should be settled once and for all. But when it comes to these quote-unquote corruption charges and scams, why is it, one, that you have these raids suddenly picking up a lot of steam and the heat pounding on opposition members? And secondly, as Siddharth said, why is it that it is only against opposition? There is no other action in the country.
Shivani, I am amazed to see the overexcitement of my dear spokesperson from the All Actors Party. And this clearly indicts him of being a corrupt one. And I think I would say that his desperation shows that he belongs to a party which is full of actors and corrupt politicians.
At least we don't have Brijbhushan Sharan Singh with us. Shivam, at least we don't have Brijbhushan Sharan with us, and then say Beti Bachao.
Sir, please
we don't let Nirav Modi
let me
and
respond.
Lalit
I will
Modi
respond to all your
and Vijay
allegations.
Mallya pull their heels in London and then say we will be fighting corruption, we will be fighting against corruption.
Okay,
At least we
You
don't
don't want
we
an
don't
answer
let
to
Mr.
it.
Dawood Ibrahim
This shows that
free.
you are defensive. Your screaming on the channel clearly shows that you are defensive on the issue. I mean, I am saying
I just highlighted your dichotomy that a party which swears by Mr. Brijbhushan Sharan Singh also swears by
please let me
Beti Bachao.
respond. If you are going to behave like this, if you want to behave like this, then it is a different ball game altogether. Let us do it this way. I would have
But
interjected
Shivam,
you
respond to my question.
when you were
Shivam,
speaking.
let's not respond to how somebody else is responding.
I'm-
Respond to the question I asked you.
So as far as the investigative process is concerned, it's an independent investigation that is happening into the case, and within the due course of investigation, it is the investigative agency which decides the timing and everything else regarding the same. So I don't think that questioning the timing of the same, and as far as your question regarding the allegations regarding the the poaching of MLAs and whatnot referred to by Arvind Kejriwal ji, because he always deals in this kind of a shoot and scoot every time. So one time you can pardon him, but every time you cannot pardon him. So the Delhi BJP decided to file a
that
complaint with the
investigation
police,
is
and police
fair
made an investigation
in
to the
public
case.
political
So
life.
it
If
is-
you keep
it
dropping
is
that charge,
completely-
you might as well be prepared to
Exactly. So-
furnish some proof. But you didn't answer my question on the
Yes.
on the
So every
issue
time you
of
cannot play the
timing
victim
of
card.
agencies probe. How is it that suddenly, as we near 2024, there is like this heat piling up on the Aam Aadmi Party, a party you haven't been able to beat in Delhi elections for the last 3 election cycles? And, suddenly ahead of 2024,
So,
there are like
Shivani
5
ji,
scams against them being investigated.
So it is, again I would say, it is referred to, as far as the complaints are concerned, the investigation will only commence when the complaints are filed. So it has got nothing to do with the elections. Let us be honest. This election will come and go, but the investigation will still continue. The charges against the Aam Aadmi Party and its leaders are going to continue even after 2024. Even after the BJP will come again and form a government in 2024 at the national level, these allegations are going to stand. The investigation is going to continue till the time we find it right, and till the time the ED feels that these are convicting enough to put them behind the bars.
No, but
Shivam,
Four leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party are behind the bars, Shivani.
Shivam just
It
said
is
we
not.
and
It
ED
is.
in the
It
same
is. It is
sentence.
not.
That
It is not
clearly-
under
that
the any
clearly
allegation
shows
from the
that he
party.
sees
But
ED
they are
and
behind
ED
the
as
bars on
together.
the orders of the honourable court.
The BJP spokesperson on national
Sir,
channel in the last 20
they are-
seconds
they are
used the
behind-
word we
they
and
are-
ED in the same sentence. That clearly opens up the Pandora's box. He
No,
is
we are
referring to
ED.
himself as the ED.
My dear Siddharth, please don't mince with my words. I never said
did
this
not
kind of a
mince your
thing.
words.
It is only
This
your
program
defensive
will be on
attitude is
YouTube.
particularly
Everyone will be able
portraying.
to see
You are trying to
that
misquote
the
the Prime
BJP
Minister in the
spokesperson on
Parliament
national
saying,
television
when he
within
says,
one sentence
the corrupt
used
will have to
me
go
and
behind
ED
the
in the
jail.
same vein.
What do you mean by
Exactly
doing
like
that? What are you doing to go to that? Do that? Sir, I agree your desperation. I completely fall. I really completely feel for the desperation.
agree, you are
I've got
exposed.
nothing
I
against you,
agree
my
that
dear
you are
friend.
exposed.
But the point
Because
is,
in the
the
last
all
50
actors
seconds,
party,
the
which
BJP
deals in a drama
spokesperson
24/7,
spoke on
and not the
national
welfare of the
television
people of
in
Delhi,
one sentence,
they must
saying
go
that we
behind the
will not
bars
leave any
for
other,
doing
and
corruption.
the ED will
And I
make
think,
arrest. That
these
clearly
allegations
shows
stand,
that
and they are
ED is
convicting
not
enough
the
to put your
investigative
chief
agencies
minister
are
behind the
no
bar.
more,
One second.
are no
You
more
have,
free
you
Can I
agencies.
just come and
not
give
a
you a
single,
comment? I can't have
not a
both of you
single
speaking over each
department
other.
of
One
Delhi
second.
government.
One second.
Shivani ji,
Any kind of
not a single department of Delhi
probity
government.
required, that is required in for governments in action. I don't think anybody can say no, there should be no probity, there should be no scrutiny of how a government spends money, etc. So I don't think the question is over that. The question is whether any and all corruption is only happening in a non-BJP led government and by non-BJP leaders. Can I just get you a quick 30-second answer on that? I'll move across to our other guests.
Is it a question to
Shivani
me,
ji,
Shivani?
For
if
Shivam,
any
for Shivam.
opposition leader
Okay.
has got an allegation against, I say if any opposition leader or anybody else in this democracy have got substantial proofs against the BJP leader, they must file a complaint. The investigation will
Mr.
happen,
Vishwa
and the
Sharma,
BJP
the
will
owners
also
of
be behind the
filing-
bars.
one second,
But
the
you are
owners
not,
of filing
but you are
complaints-
not
Vishwa
going
Sharma
to say,
is also
but
under
sir,
the
you are not
control
going
of
to say
individuals.
that ED will ultimately go after that gentleman even if he is not corrupt.
Okay, one second.
Even if
No,
he is not
Siddharth,
corrupt,
one second. I
he
want to
won't
come.
ask him
One
to
second,
be
just
behind the
give me over
bars.
the fairness. The onus of filing cases cannot be on individuals or on opposition alone. The strength of the system, which is with the investigative agencies, they must also be seen to be doing their part when it comes to non-partisan action against all kinds of individuals. Yes, some of the cases against present-day opposition leaders are predating the NDA government. Yes, some of those cases have been filed at the behest of individuals, but that doesn't mean the entire responsibility now is in the hands of individuals to dish out corruption and to, make agencies wake up and act on it. That's not how it can go either. But I want to go across to AP Singh, former CBI director, who's joining us. What is also confounding the issue is that while this political battle goes on, you have somebody like Atishi come out and make a very serious charge, not about overall political vendetta and this, agencies being handmaiden of the government of the day. Those are political barbs that are not new. But very specific charges like erosion of CCTV footage, of evidence. Is that something that is new that the agencies are facing today? And how can an agency deal with something like this?
Shivani, the basic point is that, all this investigation cannot be discussed in front of the media. It is actually, the court is the place where if there are any allegations, because all investigations are monitored by the courts. You can go to the High Court, you can go to the Supreme Court, you can go to the trial court. So you have a proper system, and there is a monitoring going on. If you have a complaint, you don't go to the media, you go to the court, and you must cooperate. I mean, that's the basic principle, that you must be seen to be cooperating with the agencies in case they ask you, in case they want you to come and give evidence. Why not? I mean, that is a prerogative the agency has. It can ask anybody in connection with a particular case. Now, if you avoid doing that, then you are, the whole thing becomes more suspicious, and it's not. You go to the courts if you have a complaint, if you think the agency is biased, if it is not doing its job properly, go to the courts. The courts are there for that purpose only.
Yeah,
and
so
if the courts
is
are
there
not
an attempt
interfering, then the presumption is that the agencies are doing their job.
Is there an attempt to kind of either browbeat or, controversialize the agencies so much by saying whatever you can? For example, an allegation today that they have somehow erased the very basis of their case. I don't understand the logic also. I'll give Siddharth an opportunity to explain why that charge was made today and why is it that none of this is ever said in court. It is only said in media. But, there is a deliberate attempt going on, AP Singh, to lower the prestige of the agencies in this heightened political cauldron. Is this the worst the agencies have seen?
No, this has always happened. I mean, whichever government is in power, the opposition always makes these allegations. So it's nothing new. It is not. It is nothing new. But as I said, instead of the media, go to the court and complain, and let the courts decide whether there is any bias or something is. The agencies are not conducting themselves properly. For example, we just had that case in Chandigarh where the court has stepped in. So if there is any malified action by the agency, the courts are there to take care of it.
Yeah, and
so
in the
that
case
is the
of
place where you
record,
really need to go and
in the case of records like the CCTV evidences Atishi is talking about today, it actually would be the easiest thing to do is to actually go to the court and get the court to question the agencies or present the very same CCTVs that she claims have been erased. First of all, this knowledge of that the agencies have done this, how has she acquired this, is a question that will be reasonably asked. When you haven't been able to provide evidence of the poaching charges that you've been making, how have you suddenly got information that ED has erased evidence? But Siddharth will respond to that after Sanjay Rana. Sanjay Rana, the problem for the Aam Aadmi Party also is that there is very little explanation coming for any of the charges, and charges are increasing by the day. There is a Delhi Jal Board probe, there is DTC, there is now medicines price scam of sorts in hospitals, and of course there is liquor gate. In all of this, they don't seem to be defending any of the charges or explaining any of the charges. It just seems like they're using this shield of vendetta alone to protect themselves. And on top of that, the Chief Minister not making himself available for even an interrogation by the ED for 5 summons now. Does that look suspicious for the public?
Shivani, if you're asking me, obviously it's suspicious for the people of India as well as for all of us. It's important to understand if any investigation agencies are doing an investigation, they have the right to ask the question, and they can call you any given point of time. It's not required to give you why they are calling. They have a right. If they are arresting you, they will give information to your advocate at the time of producing to front of the court within 24 hours. This is a procedure which they follow. Well, but here we are discussing about Jal Board. If you look at the Jal Board, corruption has happened. Obviously, bribery is given about 3 crore rupees as per the ED. Inputs is given to Mr. Some Jagdish Arora Sahab. So there is a trail, Mali trail is there. That's why ED is doing investigation and raid approx 22 location. As far as Kejriwal is concerned, they have been, look at the liquor case. When Mr. Shishodia was not into jail, I'm talking about last year, September, they made the similar kind of statement that yes, BJP is calling these folks and trying ask them to come and join, and they said they have a record, but till date they have not able to submit any of the record, audio tape or audio video, whatever the form is. They're not able to do it, number one. Number two, making allegation coming on the television, you can make any kind of allegation, but if you look at the facts, I'll give you a couple of facts which is important for all of us to understand. Delhi Jal Board, if you look at the loss of Delhi Jal Board in 2016, 17, it was 516, and if you look at the last year, it was 1,196. Where the money is going? And if you look at the DTC buses, obviously there was a 5,400 buses running in 2012. Right now it's a 4,000. So everything is decreasing. If any allegation, Shivani, is coming on you or any of the leaders of this particular party, they have to face the agencies. As far as agencies are concerned, there are article in PMLA Act is section 19. Under that Act, it is absolutely not required. They have to provide you all the information. Whenever they are producing front of the court, they will provide information to the judge as well as the advocate of the...
Yes, I think Mr. AP Singh was on the show last time around when Arvind Kejriwal had once again written a letter to the agency saying, please explain to me, are you calling me as a witness? Are you calling me as an accused? Are you calling me as something else? And I think, Mr. AP Singh, you can re-corroborate, the agencies don't need to tell you any of this. They don't need to give you reasoning.
No, I don't know about, I'm not sure about ED, but for CBI, definitely only the case FIR number is given, and you are summoned, and you would be treated as an accused once you come and you give your statement. And if they find it suspicious or you're not cooperating, then they can take you in as an accused and ask for your custodial arrest for interrogation. So it's an open thing. It's when you are called, you don't know. It's not whether you are going to be arrested or you are being summoned as a witness. And if you are being arrested before, then during the raid, when they search your house, they will pick you up and take you.
Yeah.
So that is the
Well, that's just how it is. And one could argue that some of the powers of the
yeah.
agencies need to be moderated, but that's a separate debate altogether. In the case of the ED, the opposition parties have gone to court. The court has ratified the powers that the ED has, particularly under PMLA. Siddharth, the question I want to ask you is that, you can throw as many counter charges at the agencies. For example, Atishi today says that somehow they've erased CCTV footage. You can, say that, oh, this is vendetta. Ultimately, when you are the government and you are in power, the question of probity will rest with you more than anybody else. Has Arvind Kejriwal set the right example by not turning up even for an interrogation?
One or two just clarifications, because this is 3 against 1 now, and you are also asking me tough questions. So I hope that I'll be given just a decent enough amount of time to defend myself. Point number 1, to the ex-CBI director AP Singh on your show, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal has already cooperated with the CBI in the same Delhi excise case by answering for 10 hours, 50 questions. So he is already cooperating with this. Point number 2, there is a saying in law, fruit of a poisonous tree is not acceptable, is a non-starter, non-sequitur in the eyes of law. If you cannot get a product out of a non-due process, you have to get a product out of only a due process. You cannot short circuit that. It's as simple as that. That will answer all the philosophical questions. Now, basically, you were asking me 2 or 3 questions, one or two about poaching. So this shows that 10 years ago, the BJP in Delhi, the chief of BJP in Delhi himself wanted to have an investigation against the charge made by Aam Aadmi Party on Mr. Sher Singh Dagar trying to poach Aam Aadmi Party's MLAs. This is 10 years ago, the BJP saying. BJP itself saying that it wants an investigation. How come for the last 10 years, police has not investigated anything? So that answers the question that poaching is going on across India. It's nobody's case that be it Goa, be it Karnataka, be it Maharashtra, everywhere poaching has gone on. It's as simple as that.
No. One second. How does that prove that poaching is going on?
How does it prove poaching is going on? Poaching going on, it proves because the Karnataka High Court has taken cognizance of Mr. Yediyurappa running Operation Kamala, and it is under hearing by the Karnataka High Court.
But Siddharth, come on, you cannot quote what happened in Karnataka as an explanation for your charges. You should be happy the police is probing this now.
Absolutely, we are happy. That's what we are saying, that we are happy that the police are probing, and we are asking the police the question that this has been 10 years since we have already submitted against Mr. Sher Singh Dagar of BJP. What is the progress in that?
Okay.
Now coming back, now coming back to the ED questions that you were asking today. The ED is supposed to follow a due process, and as far when BJP says that ED is a constitutional body and it can summon anyone, isn't it also true that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, becoming the chief minister, he is also taken an oath to serve the people of Delhi, and as far as constitution goes, 450 pages of the constitution, you do a search, you will now not find the words Enforcement Directorate in the constitution.
No, that's not a sufficient argument.
But you will find Delhi Chief Minister's name in the Constitution of India. So the Delhi Chief Minister is asking the ED that you call me in a constitutional way, in a proper
you have
way.
To what is unconstitutional or what isn't due process is something that needs to be outlined. Now, I have asked agency people this, and they say they don't need to qualify their summon by saying anything else. But in any case, I just want to give 30 seconds each to Sanjay Rana first, and then Shivam Chabra. Sanjay Rana first.
Shivani is very surprising the way Mr. Gentleman of Aam Aadmi Party is asking the question to agencies. They do not need anyone to provide inputs. They can ask or invite anyone or to ask question to anyone whenever they feel any kind of investigation. These are investigation agencies, and when he's talking about about the law and articles, you need to understand under which article it is coming. You're talking about fundamental rights. Fundamental right doesn't come here. You need to understand what all the articles are there, under which law, which company, agencies are working. If you do not know,
but there is a question mark on the agency's credibility, which is also a question that is not going away. And I don't know how it is going to be solved. The political party in power today doesn't want to be seen as speaking on behalf of those agencies. The agencies generally don't tend to fight a political battle. So this is not a level playing field when it comes to charges and counter charges. Shivam, I'm almost out of time. I'll give you 20 seconds. You know, some of these probes have to be seen to be credible also, is what Siddharth is referring to. Fruit of a poisonous tree.
See, unfortunately, Shivani, let us be very, very straight with the things. One, Arvind Kejriwal does not need to deviate itself to probably questioning the investigative agency, but rather than answering what the investigating agency is asking to him about what has happened and conspired to bring in and probably give benefits to the liquor barons he has been very friendly with his entire career this time. So let us not deviate ourselves to anything else, but yes, the question of corruption that has been asked by the Enforcement Director, Arvind Kejriwal ji, along with his so-called team of thieves, must come up front and answer all the questions being put up to them and say what made them probably, do this kind of corruption and probably looting the people of money.
Okay, but before we should also
and
be
I think
careful.
The credibility of ED,
we should also be careful that before we term somebody corrupt, let the due process take place and let convictions happen before we label somebody as corrupt. That's also important in political life. I've run out of time. I do thank all of you for joining us.